Hey guys, VBG here, and this is my coverage on the Minecraft Beta 1.8 update. So first what we're going to do is we're just going to be looking at the menu. The background for the menu has changed. It's now a kind of panning over landscape view, and it's a bit blurred out. I think that adds to the effect. It makes it look really nice. Minor thing, the version number has been moved to the bottom left of the main menu. Okay, so if we go to options, there are now two new options. Field of view, I'll show you that a bit more in-game, and brightness. I would imagine brightness would really help in darker videos that need to be lit up a bit, so that's going to be really nice to have while recording. If we go to controls, we've got options for attack, use item, and pick block. So by default, attack is left mouse button, use item is right mouse button, and pick block is the scroll wheel. If you're in a multiplayer server, you can also hold down tab to get a list of the players that are on the server at the time, which is, I think it's a really good feature to have, so you don't have to sit there and like ask people who is online and that. So that's pretty much it for the controls. And then of course we have the improved multiplayer join screen, which is really nice. You can add a server, just put in the server name and server address, and you could also direct connect if you don't want to add it to the list. So once you do add a server to the server list, it'll show up here. You can either double click it to join it or just select it and click join server. You can edit the entries, delete them, refresh the list, and that's pretty much it. All the basic stuff you would want from a server selection screen, really. So that is pretty much it for the menu, and I will see you guys once I get in game. Alright guys, so here we are in game, and the first thing we're going to be looking at is the new crafting recipes. So the first one is pretty simple. You take smooth stone and put it in 4 places of the crafting grid, and you will get stone bricks. You'll get 4 stone bricks, so it is 1 smooth stone per stone brick, which is a pretty good trade-off. Now I'm also going to point out a feature here, and that is shift click. When you shift click on an item now, it will craft all available, like I had 16 of each in there, and it crafted them into all 64 stone bricks. So it crafted everything, and as well as put it in my bar by shift clicking. So that's just another neat little feature I wanted to point out. So now we have stone bricks there, and out of that we can make stone brick slabs and stone brick stairs. So let's throw these down real quick and take a look at them. Alright, so here's also the other kinds of stone brick. You've got cracked stone brick and mossy stone brick. So this is actually, these blocks you cannot get by crafting them. You have to find them in a stronghold. So that is those two. And then something else I want to point out, mossy cobblestone now has a new texture. I would imagine it's based upon the new cobblestone texture. So that's that. And alright, let's set this down and take a look at them. Okay, so there's the stone bricks, stone slabs, or stone brick slabs, and stone stairs. I think that these blocks will be really good for like making stuff that just looks pretty awesome. Like, I could see this being used in so many ways. Anyway, so that is pretty much all there is for stone brick crafting. Now you can also you can take bricks now and make brick slabs, and also brick stairs. Alright, so brick stairs and brick slabs. So let's throw those down real quick and take a look at them. So there's the brick stairs, and here's the brick slabs. They also look really nice, actually. A lot of the blocks that they've added in 1.8 look pretty, like they could be used for something really nice looking. But Alright, so the next crafting recipe is you can now make fence gates. So to make those, you put down 2 sticks in the middle, wooden planks. Or wait, no, I was wrong. Wait for him to burn up. How long does skeleton take to burn? Like, really? Ooh. Okay, there he goes. Alright, so it is actually wooden planks on either... No, it's wooden planks in the middle and sticks on either side. There we go. Fence gate. So, got a little gap here in my fence, so I'm just gonna throw that down and voila. Fence gate. Now, I'd imagine it opens relative to the direction you are. Yep. Now, they do kind of look a little bit weird if they're by themselves, because they're not actually the fence gate itself doesn't actually touch the ground. But still, it's pretty nice to have something that is flush with the fence now, rather than having to use doors, which were like on the edge of the block rather than the middle. So that's fence gates. Next thing is glass panes. So 6 glass makes 16 glass panes. I'd say that's a pretty good trade-off. So let's throw down some of these. Now this is actually a cool concept, putting it, I've seen this in a video, putting the glass panes on top of steps, because it's in the middle of the block, so it actually looks really nice, like you have a windowsill. Usually I would think you'd put this on the inside, the lower bit, and then this on the outside. But that's a really, I like glass panes. There's so much you can do with glass panes, like, there's just so much. Just look at that. They're very flexible. So that is glass panes. Throw down the last 3 here somewhere. Alright, so that's glass panes, and next thing is iron bars. So you take iron ingots, take 6 of those, and same thing as the glass panes, put them there, and you'll get 16 iron bars. Now the iron bars actually function the same way as the glass panes do. They just, they'll pretty much, they're very, they can connect to a lot of things. Just like the glass panes, they're very flexible. So that is it for the iron bars. Like I said though, a lot of the stuff that they've been adding, like new blocks and that in 1.8, can really be used in some nice designs, like nice building designs. So that is pretty nice. Alright, so the next thing is... let's see. The next thing is... Let me check my list. Yes, I have a list in the background, since there are just so many new features. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is... Let's look at the food system. Actually, one thing I want to mention too is... Previous to 1.8, you could only place... you could place 4 blocks a second. So they've changed that, and now you can only place 3 blocks a second, so it's a little bit slower. Shouldn't have too much of an effect, but it's just a little bit slower now. So that is that, and next thing we're going to be looking at is the food system. So you can see my little food bar there to the right of my health. Now this has also made them move the armor bar to above the hearts, and the breathing bar is above the food bar now. So, alright, let's take a look at the foods. So, as you can see, now foods stack. So you have everything here stacked except for mushroom stew. Mushroom stew is the only thing that does not stack. And I believe the reason for this is because you can now infinitely farm mushrooms, which I'll show you guys in just a little bit. So now everything stacks to 64 except the mushroom stew, and you do have this new item also, rotten flesh, which is dropped from zombies. The original reason zombies dropped feathers was before there were chickens. At least that's by what I know. So now you've got rotten flesh, and this will restore your food bar but has a chance to give you a disease. So I'm also going to show you the new eating animation, and we're going to eat this piece of rotten flesh. So there's new eating animation. So there's my food bar. It's changed color now. It's diseased. That doesn't look nice. Okay, so that is pretty much it for food, really. Wonder if I... yeah, you can see it gave me a disease, and my food is now going down really quick. Something else about diseases is any raw food, like raw fish, raw chicken, raw beef, and raw pork chops, those will all have a chance to give you a disease. The same with the rotten flesh. I would imagine, though, the rotten flesh would have a greater chance, but don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure on that one. Okay, so the disease has gone away now. Just going to eat some of the cake. So, yeah, and two new food items here. First of all, cooked pork chops have a new texture here. Raw beef, you can get that from cows. They usually drop about 3, which is really nice, like at a time. You cook that in a steak, which has the old pork chop texture. You've got raw chicken now, dropped from, obviously, chickens. I've never seen one that didn't drop one, so it must be 100% drop rate. Cooked chicken. Then you also have melons, which I'll show you guys how to farm them in a little bit, but you now have melons, which are... it's pretty much watermelon from melons. Kind of explains itself, so that is pretty much it for that. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the, let me see, show you guys the melon slices, raw chicken, just reading my list here, raw beef, cooked chicken, steak, eating rotten flesh, farming options. Alright, so first of all, first thing I'm going to show you is my little farm here. So on this side is pumpkins. You can now farm pumpkins now. I have here melon seeds and pumpkin seeds, which you can get from melons and pumpkins. And then, yeah, so it seems here actually that I think melons grow slower than pumpkins. So that's interesting. But you can grow these with bone meal. Previously in the pre-release you couldn't, but now you can, so I'm going to plant down some pumpkin seeds. Now right when they're sprouting and that, they look exactly the same almost. So it's kind of hard to tell them apart, but alright, so let's get our bone meal out and grow some of these. Okay, so the sprouts all look the same. That is, well, it makes sense kind of. So those are all the same, and once they grow to full size, they'll spawn a melon or pumpkin next to them when they, at some point, whenever they're ready. So, that is the pumpkins and melons. We're going to leave that and wait for them to grow, and once they grow, we'll come back to it. I'm going to show you the giant mushrooms now, so head over here to the mushrooms, and there, get my bone meal on the bar. So currently there are no giant mushroom biomes. That's going to be saved for 1.9. So you can, however, grow mushrooms in the giant mushrooms with bone meal. Now, this actually causes for the problem of, like, the unbalancing problem of you can infinitely farm mushrooms. It's not a bad thing. But I think the way that they actually countered that was by making mushroom soup or stew not stack, and that's how they countered it. Because you can infinitely farm mushrooms, but you can't carry as much mushroom stew as, say, steak or cooked pork chops, chicken, bread, everything else you can carry more of. So let's grow some of these. Okay, that one's in a bad spot. That one's in a bad spot. Ooh. Ow. Okay, so here we go. We've got giant red. They're actually really big. Another giant red. Let's so you can just use your fists and just chop them down like anything else. We're gonna see how many red mushrooms we can get out of this giant red mushroom, just to show you guys how easily it is to farm these. Now, red mushrooms and brown mushrooms are also more common now. They're found a lot in swamp biomes, which I'll be showing you guys a bit later on. So, alright, so there we go. We chopped down giant red mushroom. We got 13 red mushrooms out of it. So that is quite a bit, honestly. And then you could plant those 13, grow them up, and do it even more. Alright, so here we have a brown mushroom. They're a little bit harder to reach, really. Like, just because they're all up higher rather than around the stem like that. So, I must say, though, I do like the red ones better. They look a lot nicer. But, let's see how many we get from this. I want to do this as... Whoa. As fast as possible, since it's getting dark out. Find somewhere to get up on shore here. Okay, another thing I'm going to point out real quick while we're here is the lighting. Like the sunrise and sunset lighting. The clouds now get colored and whatnot, and the horizon gets all red foggy, and it looks really awesome, honestly. Just hide that UI for a second. Yeah, it just looks amazing. But, so that's that, and let's continue chopping this down. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of a rush here because of how many, just how many features there are in 1.8. I've got a lot to cover. So, oh, not again. Wait. Why I just used the pickaxe for that? No clue. Okay, there we go. Now we'll have no problems. Okay, keep going. I'd imagine you get just about the same amount from one of these that you do from the red, so we'll see. Yeah, we've got 13 now and even more. Brown mushrooms aren't really as rare as the red ones, so yeah, I got 16 out of 1, and then I could plant those 16 and keep going. So it really is a way to get so many mushrooms. It's just a way to pretty much infinitely farm them. So that is pretty much it for the mushrooms, and let's go check on our melons and pumpkins. Nothing yet. Alright, so that is that for that, and let me check my list. Okay, let's see, farming options. Check. Sprinting, okay. Show you the sprinting now. So I've set up a little thing here. It's got a platform here, goes across, and then there are 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks. So that is how far you can jump now with sprinting. When you sprint, you lose your food 4 times as fast. Your hunger will go down 4 times as fast. Something I'm also going to mention real quick about the food bar here that I had forgotten to mention earlier. When your food is over 80%, which I'm pretty sure is when there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, so 80% is when, as long as you are over 8 of those little hams on the food bar, your health will regenerate approximately half a heart every 5 seconds. So once you get below that, though, you will not heal. And if you get too low, I'm not sure the exact number, but I would imagine it would be about 20%. If you get under somewhere around there, you start to lose health. Now you'll keep losing health depending on your on what mode you're on until a certain point. In hard mode, you will die. In normal, you'll go down to half a heart, and in easy, 4 hearts. At least that's what I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, so anyways, sprinting. Right, so we're going to sprint, and 4 blocks. We just jumped 4 blocks. So also with sprinting, I'm going to go and do third person here. When you sprint, little particles come up. It's pretty nice little visual feature there. So there's sprinting. Let me check if I got everything. Okay, so sprinting is actually limitless, but will deplete your hunger bar 4 times as fast, like I said earlier. Hitting a mob while sprinting sends them flying, so we'll see if we can find a mob at some point. Jumping the length of 4 blocks, I showed you guys that. Particles from the ground, yep. And also, while sprinting, if you didn't notice, it changes your field of view. Just ever so slightly increases your field of view. Okay, yes, so we can, I can show you the sprinting, knocking a mob back. Here we go. There we go. I knocked him back pretty darn far. And while we're at it, I'm going to show you guys the new bow animation. So, pull it back. It has 3 states, and the higher the state, the further it'll go. You've seen there, when I just clicked, it just didn't even go to them. Now also, the higher charged, or the more charged your bow is, the slower you'll walk. And also, when you do have it fully charged, you will critical hit them. Now also, something I'm going to show you with this last skeleton here is if you jump at a mob and hit them, you will critical hit them. So, oh, I must have landed too soon, but okay, so that is a lot of stuff that I just covered there that I wasn't planning on covering right off the bat. So I'll go back to that a little and get a bit more into detail later. So we'll continue with what we were doing before. Okay, so alright, let's what's next? Okay, so there is a new achievement, and that is, where is it? Right here. Sniper duel. Kill a skeleton with an arrow from more than 50 meters, and that is 50 blocks. So that is pretty, looks like it'd be pretty tough. So that's it for the new achievements. Alright, next we're going to look at the new uses for shears and a new block. We have vines here, and you can place one vine on a wall and it'll just kind of spread around. Now right here it will eventually, to my knowledge, start to hang down off the block, which is pretty nice. You find vines in swamps, so that is something we'll check out later. But gonna get my shears out. If you break one normally, it just disappears. Now you cannot climb them or anything like that. I'll be right back. There's something climbing up my wall. Alright guys, sorry about that. There was a wasp climbing around my wall. Whoa! There's the new explosion graphic for you. Wow, that was unexpected. Alright, let this mushroom back down. Okay, so oh, mouse, keyboard froze. Uh-oh. Out of the water. Alright. Okay, let's get back to where we were then. Oh, no, it destroyed the... Oh, great. Destroyed the pressure plate. Alright, right. Okay. Stone pressure plate, stone pressure plate. And no, I do not use TMI in my Let's Plays. Just if anybody was wondering. I just use it for stuff like showing off all these new items and that. It's kind of obvious, really, that I would use them to show off these items. But, anyways. Fill this hole back in and then we'll, continue. Okay, so, where were we? Right. Vines. Okay, vines, yes. So, okay, so if you destroy them just like that, you don't get anything. However, if you use shears, you actually get to pick up the vine. You can use them to decorate or whatever you want to do with them, but... So yeah, there's vines for you. You can collect those and use them to decorate your houses and that. Make them look... You know, I'd imagine that it would look really good with the cracked or mossy stone bricks. That'd look really nice, I think. So that is the vines, and now there is another use for shears, and that is tall grass, which you can do this, and you can pick up the tall grass now, which is a pretty nice little feature there, and plant it wherever you like. So, Another thing about tall grass that I'm going to mention is tall grass now spreads, like slowly. It'll just kind of spread around, which is pretty nice if you're... Well, I can't really think of a practical use for it, but maybe for seeds, getting seeds, it'll be easier because it'll spread it'll spread around. So that's pretty nice, and that you can pick it up too. Replant them other places. So let's plant those, and then let's take these vines, and I wonder if you can place... No, you can't place them on glass, but I'll place these on here. There we go. Alright, so that is pretty much all the new uses for the shears. So next point of business is, let's see, the new improved lighting. The day and night cycles no longer require chunk updates, which is, they use a texture now. So I think that pretty much means it's easier for, like, first of all, it makes there be less lag when light is changing, like the sun is going down, and that it'll cause, or like it'll end up with less lag in that lightning. Alright, so I'm going to show you the new torch lighting. I've made a little area down here. Let's go down. Alright, so we've got a torch here, and there's actually a bit of light coming in through here, so we're going to pull this lever and close that off. So this is all this one torch lighting. So you can see it starts getting a little bit dimmer and dimmer and dimmer as it goes, and it's more of like a kind of yellowy feel to it, like the coloring of the lighting. Now I put a room here just so that you can see how the lighting goes further away. So you get the lighting going that way, and dims up as it goes around the edges and all that, which is, honestly, the new lighting looks really nice, and it seems to go a bit further than it used to, which is also a pretty nice thing, because, well, now you're not going to use up any more torches. Now, just to show you guys that this is just this one torch, pitch black when I take it out. So anyway, so that is the new lighting for torches. I imagine it works similar with glowstone and all that now too, so that's pretty nice. Fire, lava probably have new lighting. So that is pretty much that, and see if there's anything else on the list that involves lighting. Okay, so let me read this to you guys. The light on a block is given a tint based on the most prominent source of light. Reddish from non-sunlight light sources, blue from moonlight. Total darkness keeps the same black tint. Sunlight gives the same white tint. Torches and possibly other sources like glowstone and that now will lightly flicker brighter and darker on the screen. Huh. I'm actually gonna check that, because I must have missed that when I was reading that. Check that real quick. It says to stand on it and look around. Oh, it does. Just ever so barely you can see a slight flickering in the lighting. Well, that's cool. That's pretty cool. A bit more realistic. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the lighting. New texture for moss stone. I covered that earlier. Debug view. This isn't really much of the actual game, but we're going to look at debug view. So in the debug screen, you now have the seed number in the left there. So that is the seed. And I'm sure you guys will love to see this seed, because it's a little island in the middle of nowhere. I just randomly generated this landscape too. I didn't I didn't use a seed to generate it, it just generated. However, there were no trees on this, so yeah. Okay, so anyways, so there's the debug view now shows the seed of the world, which is nice. Also, there is okay, mobs. So there's a skeleton over there. Mobs no longer have their ID above their head in debug view, so that is no longer a feature. I'm going to show you guys the critical hit. So there's a critical. You've seen the sparks flying around. Shoot him with a critical from the bow. And there we go. Now there also, you can see there floating towards me, little experience orbs. That's for the XP bar that currently does nothing. So they're going to put a use to it in 1.9. But it's right below the hearts in the food bar. If you haven't seen it already, that is the experience bar. All monsters and passive creatures and anything drop experience orbs, but like I said, they do nothing currently, so... Anyway, so that's that, and oh, look! Our first melon and pumpkin. Alright, so let's grab this pumpkin. Now, I'm not sure if this will just continue to spawn the pumpkins beside it, or what. I'm not quite sure how that works. Alright, so let's grab this melon, and when you destroy a melon, what actually happens is that it drops melons. I'm pretty sure it drops 4 to 8 melons, so that's pretty nice. So that is the farming now that you've seen for pumpkins and melons. They take a long time to grow without bone meal, something like an hour or something like that. So it's a good idea to use bone meal on them. Now, something I haven't mentioned, but I'm going to mention, is with the rain. Apparently they changed the way the... One sec, I'm just going to check so I know I don't mess up saying this. Let's see, where is it? Rain and snow renders faster with caching. So, the rain and snow now renders faster. I'm pretty sure also causes less lag than it used to. Just because of the way they're doing it now. There's a lot of lightning out. But, so that is that. Let's see what else I've got here to show you guys. Okay, let's see. Alright, mobs no longer visibly labeled with F3. Seed displayed. Ah, yes. I'm pressing F. Listen. That is me pressing F. And my fog is not changing. Like my view distance isn't changing at all. Now that is a new thing. You can press F3 and change the fog with F. Or at least you're supposed to be able to. Huh. I guess that was removed or something. It used to be that it was supposed to. Let's try holding down F. Okay. You have to hold down F3 and then press F. Okay. So just make sure that my view distance, render distance normal. Alright, one other thing I want to show you guys here is I'm going to show you these options for field of view. So I'll do that. So this is Quake Pro. Now this looks really weird on a single monitor, but if you do have like a 3-way monitor set up and you have the 2 on the edges angled towards you slightly, it looks really nice. Like I've seen videos of it and it looks really nice. Like videos of how it looks on people's monitors when they have them set up like that. But anyways, so that is the field of view option. I'm going to put it back to normal here in a second. There we go. And here's a sunset, I believe. So there's a sunset. Now with sunsets, let me see here. Got it somewhere on here on my list. Okay. Right, so the clouds, if you had noticed that before I went in my inventory there, the clouds change color. Their tint gets to a reddish tint the closer they are to the horizon when the sun is rising or setting. So that's a nice little visual feature there. This rain is really getting on my nerves, but I think that's almost it for what I've got to tell you for this world. I do have another world I want to show you guys too, for other features that I can't really show you on this little island. So, let me see here. Okay. So, a few things left. The version number, top left of the screen, minor thing. It now shows you the version number. Actually, I think it always did, but it said that in changelog, so I'm going to say that anyways. Version number, top left corner. Over here, you've probably noticed these already. These are leaf blocks, and they have no wood around them at all. They, player-placed leaf blocks now no longer decay like they used to. So that is pretty much that for the leaf blocks. It's simply you can place them now. I do have my game running on fast and not fancy, as you can tell, just so that my frames stay decent. Yeah, right here you can see the vine has started to grow down, which is pretty nice. They'll grow down off of stuff and hang down in that, which is pretty cool. So that is that. Let me see if there's anything else. There are 3 more things here. 1 or 2, actually a couple. Okay, chests are now smaller. As you can see, they're just under a full block. They're a little bit smaller than a full block. And they have this little lock thingy here, which is, it's a pretty cool little visual thing. And actually, I think that's the reason why they're not a full block now, is because they need room for the lock. And also, chests do have an open and closed state animation now, so it's more for a multiplayer thing. But, so there's that. Now it does work with single chests too, so that's pretty much it for chests. And then there is wooden and stone pressure plates you can see over here are now, you can now place them on fence posts, which is pretty nice. I didn't pick it up. Okay. But yeah, they can be placed on fence posts now. It's pretty nice. You can use them as tables and whatnot. And then the last thing I want to say for this world is, it's kind of not related to my video in any way because this is a single player game, but in multiplayer mode, OPs have the ability to, or in multiplayer servers, OPs have the ability to switch between creative mode and survival mode in-game. Alright, so that is pretty much it for this little island I have here of what I wanted to show you guys. Next, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a look at creative mode. There are still some things I want to show you in survival. I do have another world set up for that, and I'll show you guys those in a little bit. So that is pretty much it for this world, and I will see you guys in the next world in creative.